Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Cover Down. It's your host back again, Seth and Doug, going into another episode. This episode, we're going to talk about a few things that we kind of just finished up with the Guardians, some awesome events that we did, and talk a little bit about the Poker Run, the biggest event that we do this year. And most importantly, talking about why we do this, period. So who we're doing it for. Stick around. Also, before this intro starts, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. It all goes towards a great cause. And roll the intro. We're back.
We're back.
Doug,
What's up?
how's it going, man?
Good. What's going on?
I don't like not being in the same room as you. I like to be able to
That's just a little awkward.
reach out. Look, man, I'm personal like that. You know what I am.
It's just
Oh,
a
my
wee bit
gosh.
awkward.
Just a wee bit awkward. So we had a crazy last week, didn't we?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's been a little hectic around just everywhere lately. Gearing up for the Poker Run coming up this coming weekend, the 15th, actually.
Yeah. Wow. There's so much work has been done.
Yeah, we've been back to back. What was it? 2 weeks in a row. We had the farmers market. We were out there, and then we had we were out there July 4th, and then July 5th we were out over at the Waterford Speed Bowl for their
I
event.
think the week before that we were at Back the Blue as well.
We were.
Yeah.
It's been.
You see what I mean? You see.
Yeah, it's just been. It's been, this year has been one of the most insane years for events for us. That it seems like every weekend we have been set up somewhere. We have something to do, which is a fantastic problem to have. Don't get me wrong. It has been a fantastic
First world
problem.
problems, right?
Yeah, it's been absolutely just fantastic to be so busy because it means that we're getting the name out there and we're spreading awareness, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the race that we just did.
Oh,
Well, we didn't race. Let me be clear with that.
No.
We were not racing these cars.
no, we weren't.
We got invited out and had a special kind of event in our name, right?
Yeah, actually, this whole thing started back in February. We met Chuck McDonald. He is a racer for he has race cars that he races over at Waterford Speed Bowl, and we met him because he is a coach for Groton Little League, and we met him over at the Mystic Irish Parade, and he was like talking about how he wants to put our logos on 5 of his race cars. And then he was like, I got all this stuff lined up. This is what I want to do. And we're like, all right, we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Let's just, start one thing at a time. And since February, we've just been in contact with him. We've been, talking with him. And then it turns out that he was coaching my son's senior division for the All-Stars team for the Groton Little League and then the All-Star division. And then he was like, hey, we're doing this, big race on July 5th. Do you guys want to sponsor the race? So we wound up sponsoring that race. We had our name out on the marquee board, which was pretty awesome, right on Route 85. So like everybody driving by saw, the name right on the big marquee board. And then what the most epic part of that evening was being able to take the motorcycle and drive it through the pit and then do a lap on the track with, we had the American flag, all the branch flags. We had the Guardian flag on the back of my motorcycle, and we got to do a lap around the track. We lined up for the national anthem, and then we did a half a lap, and then we exited the track, and it was an epic evening. It was a long day, it was a long afternoon, but it was incredible.
We had was it the Southeastern Connecticut Back the Blue Riders as well?
Back the Blue Riders came out, and they've been an awesome support network for us. Doug Hoyt, he's been officially crowned the mascot for the organization.
Deemed on site the mascot of the Guardians of the Purple Heart.
Yeah, but he's been an awesome support for us. He came out with his trike, and he led the pack, but Back to Blue Southeastern Connecticut was out there, and they rode with us. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. It was a beautiful, beautiful event.
Yeah, Nick, I think you got some footage of that, don't you? With some cheesy music in the background, but it's still cool. You want to share that?
Music is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's so serene.
This is the end of it, actually.
Yeah. When you guys came rolling out, because I was in the back, I had to say some words.
Yeah, that's
the moment you guys hit in front of the stands, they just went wild.
Yeah. Do you have, Nick? Do you have the beginning when we were riding out? I don't know if he does. Either way,
producer says, "Stand by, keep talking."
There's if you follow the Facebook, people can. If you go up to our Facebook, you'll be able to see it. We were tagged in it. We posted a lot about it. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see my bike is like 4 bikes ahead up on the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That crowd tripled in size by the time night fell for all the races.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many people get to say they got to ride their bike around a racetrack?
I know.
So
and we were going pretty fast too. I think we hit about 40, 45 miles an hour, which was faster than I expected us to go.
Well, add it to the bucket list and immediately check it off, right?
Exactly. Now, if I could just go a little bit faster, I'll check that one off the bucket list, but
100 in the corners.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it was the beautiful part was I remember we were standing out as we were waiting to bring the bikes on the track. We hadn't really sold any merchandise. We were set up prior, and it was hot. We were sweating, and I was telling Nick, I was like, look, when we get the bikes off the track, when we go back up there, if we haven't sold a piece of merch, let's pack up. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's kind of miserable. Let's, let everybody go home and shower and rest up. I don't want anyone getting heat exhaustion and passing out from this. So let's send everybody home. We get the bikes off the track, we park, we gather all the flags, and we come over to the tent. There is a line of people, just t-shirts and sweatshirts just going across. I mean, it's 90 degrees outside, and there's people trying on sweatshirts, and where it was nonstop for like 3 hours straight, just people buying merchandise and challenge coins and patches, and it was just like it just wouldn't stop. And it was a long night, but
yeah, the support was overwhelming.
It was beautiful.
Yep.
Definitely we'll be going back.
Had to make a little speech.
Yeah, impromptu speech. You did an awesome job for being told last minute that you were going to be doing a speech.
Oh my God. I'm
here you go. If you can
just
hear it.
Sound like the teacher from Peanuts. You gave me the Forrest Gump speech. That's all I have to say about Nahum. Just cut the last part in there. Yeah, Nick. I call Nick, and I'm approaching the racetrack and calling him just to figure out where I need to park and enter in at. And he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you're going to give a speech. I said, all right, I guess. And he's like, okay, cool. And then goes to hang up. It's like, wait, hold on. I was calling you. It's not, damn
it. Surprise.
Yeah. The guy hands me the mic and I was like, I don't know. Swing it.
No, you did a good job, though. You did a good job. Excellent job, buddy.
Yeah. So the overwhelming support of Back the Blue, the New London Waterford Speed Bowl, and all the race fans there this last week on Wednesday night was very touching. It was awesome. I love to see that. A lot of people come over, want to chat, have stories. Older veterans come over. They might want to buy something small. It's perfectly fine. We love listening to all their stories. So we're a talkative group, as you can see from the show. So if you ever stop by the tent and just want to talk, go right ahead.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, we love connecting with people, and that's the thing. Like, you have a story you want to talk to us about, friend, family member who is in the military. We love hearing those stories. We love connecting with, the community, and we want to know about, those people in your lives that, have served, and we want to know about these people. So definitely hit us up and tell us those stories so we can appreciate their time in the service as well.
Yeah, there's some very interesting characters here in Connecticut that have some pretty awesome stories, and I'd like to know more of them. So if anybody cool, contact us in all the usual ways: Facebook, Instagram here. And you have a story that wants to be told from one of your, about one of your relatives or a friend or a neighbor, let us know. We'll tell the story. We love learning that kind of stuff. So,
yep, exactly.
So we did the race. Now we got this coming Saturday on the 15th. We have our biggest event, and the event that kind of everything was founded around, which is the Guardians of the Purple Heart Poker Run.
Yep.
So, and we're going to be starting at Mike's Famous Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Right, and then hitting a few spots. Who do we got?
We have Beard Brewing, the silo in Groton, Connecticut. Then we have Sweet Hill Farm in Gales Ferry. Then we have
ice cream. That's fun.
Yep, get some ice cream. Then we have Turnpike Cafe over in Uncasville. And then we have Post 1004 out in Jewett City, which is a VFW post. And then we end over at Basra Moose Lodge in Basra, Connecticut, where we have live music from CC and the Riders. We have pig roast. It's kind of like a big barbecue type deal. Vendors, raffle, pretty much everybody getting together there for an after party. Last card is in by 3, I believe it is. And then we have raffles being drawn at 5 o'clock. And usually after raffles are drawn, that usually takes about 15, 20 minutes. Usually after the last raffle is called, that's when people start to pretty much pack up and go home. So you figure probably like around 5:30, 5:45 is when the poker run ends. So it's pretty much an all-day event. Just because it's a motorcycle run, people don't have to have a motorcycle to participate. People can come in their they can come in their car, their lowrider, their jacked up pickup truck. It does not matter. As long as your vehicle is street legal, you can come and participate. If you're working that day, does not matter. You can still come out for the after party and participate. And you can still come and hang out. So, I mean, it's an event that lasts all day long.
Yeah. And so some people might not know what a poker run is specifically.
Right. So what happens is registration is from 9 to 11 over at Mike's Famous. When you leave Mike's Famous, you're going to hit the 4 stops. At the 4 stops, you're going to, you're going to draw a poker card. We have a sheet, and then at that stop, we have people who work that stop. They're going to mark that particular sheet with the poker card or the card that you draw. You're going to go to the next stop, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw another card. At the end, when you hit the Moose Lodge, you're going to draw your 5th and final poker card. Basically, you're going to try to make the best 5-card poker hand out of it. Then we have best hand, worst hand prizes. If, say, you're you have 4 good cards and you hit the Moose Lodge and you draw the 5th card and it's kind of like a crap card, you can pay like $5, I think it is, to draw another card to try to get like the best hand. So you can pretty much just kind of, up your chances of winning. So you're basically just trying to get the best 5-card poker hand at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it's some fun and games along with those who like to either go for nice long rides or nice long drives. Yep. So hopefully we see a little bit of everybody out there. We always, I mean, the bikes always show up. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not upon, but I'm curious to what else will show up, the moment we start allowing vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had some people show up in their, what is it? Those spider things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A couple of years we've had people show up in those. One year we had a couple of classic vehicles show up and do the poker run in that. People think that just because it is a motorcycle run that you have to have a motorcycle to participate. It's not the case, right? I mean, it is a motorcycle run, but again, if your vehicle is street legal, yeah, come out and participate. If you have a big wheel and it's street legal, ride the big wheel. Like,
yeah,
bring it along. Like it does not matter. I mean, we want everyone to be able to come out and participate because all proceeds that are raised go to help the Purple Heart recipient that we're helping this year.
Yeah.
So
and this will be my first poker run, period, along with you guys, because I joined just after the recipient dinner last year.
You joined during the recipient dinner last year.
I guess so.
Like you were cooking, and then we were like, "Hey, Seth, guess what? You're joining."
They got me again.
You don't know it yet, but guess what?
It'll be cool to see, to see how many people turn out and the show of support for what we do in the veteran community, and especially our combat wounded veterans. So I'm excited for it. And it all culminates to eventually the end of this year or later on this year, our recipient dinner, right? Where we get to honor Mr. Mo Bodine, which Doug got to sit down with him and talk kind of about his story, period. And I've heard apparently it's a nail biter. So
all right. So I've known.
Hopefully, Doug can tell it well. We all know the better storyteller is here, but.
I've known Mo for, oh my gosh, I've known him for 9 years, 10 years. I've known this guy for a long, long time. And he's told me a little bit here and there about his story. And I think it was like 3 weeks ago is when we sat down and he really told me about his story. And it was the first time that it was like every time he told me a little bit, there was, oh yeah, by the way, and there was another addition to the story. But the oh, by the way, was more of a comedic turn than there was a, like, how do I put it? So I've been doing this for a long time, right? Most of the stories that when I hear about when I hear the veteran story about how they got injured and how they got hurt, it's very heartfelt. It kind of kicks you right in the gut, and it's very hard to listen to sometimes. But when Mo tells his story, he makes you laugh about it, and you feel kind of bad because you're laughing about a story about how he got injured. But at the same time, he's sitting there and he's cracking up while he's telling this story. And it's okay to laugh because he's laughing. But, I mean, Mo's also that type of person where he has this infectious laugh. He has this infectious smile. And every time Mo smiles, you can't help but smile. And have you ever met Mo?
Yep.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Like when Mo smiles, your soul smiles. Like he has that smile. Like you could have the worst day in the world, and Mo will come up to you and he'll tell you everything's going to be okay, and he'll smile at you, and all of a sudden you know everything's going to be okay because Mo told you, right? and it's that smile that just tells you everything's going to be all right. But some of the stuff he told me about him growing up and him being in the service, I was just like, Mo, you've got to be kidding me. This is too funny. I don't know how I'm going to work this in. There's some stuff that he told me that I told him I had to work it into his speech, and he was like, all right, I give you full permission to work it in. Just go ahead and tell that part of my story. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting dinner. So,
is there anything you can give us right now?
Let me see. I'm gonna take a look at my notes. Well, all right. So, one thing I will say is that a lot of people don't know is everyone knows the term OG, right? Original gangster. Well, I'll use the term Mo as an OG. A lot of people don't know this. Mo is an OG. He's an original Guardian. Mo is actually, he was the very first vice president of this organization when Guardians of the Purple Heart first started. When
no pressure on me.
You got very big shoes to fill, son. So when we were known as the Purple Heart Poker Run Incorporated, and I had come in as president, Mo came in as the vice president. And that's when I had turned around and said, okay, well, we're going to rebrand and restructure, and we're going to get a logo and a name. That's when we had become Guardians of the Purple Heart, and Mo was appointed vice president. So he was the very first vice president of this organization. He was vice president for about 5 months, and then he had to take a step back and deal with some family stuff. One of the things that I didn't know about his service is that he was deployed to Vietnam in 1969. He did an entire tour in Vietnam, and then in 1971 I guess he got orders again for Vietnam. Never went stateside. He went back to back. So did 2 tours to Vietnam and just went back to back. So he basically spent 2 years in Vietnam, never came home. He went from he was in one unit, transferred to a different outfit or different unit, and then went back to his original unit and went home after his second tour. When he got injured, he was a passenger in a vehicle. That vehicle hit a landmine. Vehicle basically blew up. He spent a couple of weeks in a field hospital, and let me see. He said this is this is what he said. He was in a convoy. He was the passenger, hit landmine, sustained injuries. He was medevaced with ribs and ankle injuries. Had to have plastic put in his ankle. Hearing was knocked out. Driver was sent home because of missing fingers. I got the Purple Heart, was sent back to the war. Wasn't going to have some little landmine get the best of me. He said, yeah, some little landmine get the best of me, right? And that's the thing, like, and that's the type of attitude Mo has is, you know, anytime Mo comes into some sort of hardship or some sort of, you know, something that challenges him is he always looks at the other side of the coin and says, I can get through this. And he just doesn't let anything defeat him. And like Mo is a fighter. Like this guy is just, oh my God. Like spend 10 minutes talking to this guy and you'll walk away and you're just like, man, this guy is just this dude's no
the bromance is real.
So but yeah, this guy, he is an absolute legend. Love talking with him. Love seeing him. He's been he's been a long time supporter of the organization. Um, he's been with us since day one, supported us from day one. Never has asked for anything from us. Him being a Purple Heart recipient, knowing what we do, has never stepped up and asked for anything. And we as an organization realized that he needed assistance, and we had stepped up and said, "Hey, we're going to help you."
Yeah,
so
it's about damn time.
Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's. I will tell you one thing though. He was kind of laughing about how. So we were sitting there. We were in McDonald's, and we were having a conversation there about his story, and his I guess his girlfriend Mona was sitting there, and going through his story, and we were talking about how how it was when he was coming back from like Vietnam and stuff, and stuff that he was going through. And he said that when he came back, like he lived in his dad's basement. And I asked him, I was like, if you don't mind me asking, and I knew the answer, and I was like, why, if you don't mind me asking, like, why'd you live in the basement? And he goes, because I was comfortable. And he told me how his dad used to like bring him coffee and bring meals down there, and his dad would sit and talk with him. His dad was a World War II combat medic, and
wow.
His dad would go in the basement, and he would sit down on the floor in the basement, and they would sit and talk and have conversations. His dad knew what he was going through. Now, if you think about it, at that time, PTSD was never talked about, right?
It wasn't until after the war, and then Audie Murphy. There's before or after he filmed and directed To Hell and Back.
Yep.
Started becoming an advocate for that. That was in the early 50s.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it didn't really become a thing until what do you want to say, 25, maybe 30 years ago?
Yeah. And to have his dad know what, Mo was going through in 71, 72. And wow. Mo would come home, and he couldn't sleep on the second or third floor where his room was. And he basically set up camp in his basement, and he wouldn't come out of the basement for like months or, whatever. And his dad would bring food and coffee down, and his dad would go down and sit and talk with him and whatnot. And that just was just like, holy crap, dude. Like that's rough. But we were sitting there talking, and like you could tell Mo was getting a little bit emotional, and Mona turns around and she kind of broke the mood a little bit. She's like, "Hey, Mo, are you still married?" And I went, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Mo, I've known you for like 100 years. Are you married?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I married some Vietnamese girl." I was like, "Oh, my God, what are you talking about?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Most stereotypical GI.
Exactly. Right? He's like, "I was young and dumb in Vietnam." He was like, "I was your typical GI." I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was just like, "Yeah." Then out of nowhere, he starts laughing so hard he has tears in his eyes. He starts telling me a story about how him and Moan are on a road trip. They stop at some Vietnamese bodega or whatever it is to use the bathroom and get some supplies or whatever. So all of a sudden, she's in the bathroom. He starts talking to the two young kids operating the register. So Mo's asking him questions, and then I guess Mo asks him, "Where are you from?" and all this other stuff. So they say some sort of town in Vietnam or whatever. And all of a sudden, Mo's eyes just get really big. Mona comes out of the bathroom, and he's like, "We gotta go." So they run out of the store, and she's like, "What is the matter? What is going on?" And he was like, "Those two kids in there are from the same town I married that girl from. Those kids might be mine."
Yeah. Not old enemy VC might be out to get him.
I don't know if Mo has some illegitimate kids or whatever, but
Mo, as a sailor, I salute you.
But the way Mo
That's
tells
some
the
sailor
story,
shit right there.
and the way Mo tells the story, it was just absolutely hilarious. But I mean, the stuff that he was telling me, I mean, like I said, I've known Mo for a very long time, and like there was just bits and pieces to his story that I never knew. And I mean, I've told you guys in the chat that there's, and I'm not going to get into why this is probably going to be one of the hardest speeches that I'm going to have to deliver to the dinner. I'm not going to get into it here on the podcast. It's people are going to have to come to the dinner to see why it's going to be difficult for me to deliver it. But this will probably be one of the speeches that's delivered that has more of a lighthearted tone when it comes to his story. Because the way he tells it, he delivered it in a way where it was like, yeah, I almost died. I did go through this, but you know what? I'm still here. So I could look at it like I almost died. Woe for me, but I'm still living. Let me live my life and have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Part of me wonders if it was that shared experience with his father that kind of gave him that positive outlook.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty. I mean, it is a known fact that combat PTSD has a tendency to go better with individuals when they have a good support group. And I don't think there is a better support group than your own father who went through the same shit. So
yeah, I mean, his dad was a chief medic in World War II. Like, wow. I mean, you can't get any more combat experience than being a chief medic in World War II and being in a concrete basement with your dad, getting that kind of support and coming back from, back-to-back tours in Vietnam and just sitting there with a very strong support network. And even if it was just sitting there, just sipping a cup of coffee with him, not saying a word, just knowing that he's sitting right across from you, right? I mean, I think a lot of veterans know that when you have that person who knows what you've gone through, you don't even have to say a word. Just knowing that look in their eye and knowing that they're back there and knowing that at any second a word can be spoken and someone can talk and there's no judgment. There's no platform that the other person's going to stand on and be like, oh, you sissy, or suck it up, buttercup. It's going to be met with empathetic listening, and that person's going to be there for support. So, but yeah, Mo's an absolute legend. I love this dude. I love this dude.
It'll be a good dinner for sure. And a fairly important one, just the Guardians itself.
Yeah,
everyone is important, but this one is personal. It's family.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Mo's going to be at the poker run, so I'm excited to see him this coming Saturday. But yeah, like you said, every veteran that we help, they're all important to us. Each one holds a special place in our hearts. Each one is very important to us. Each one has a personal meaning to us. I have a little bit of a personal relationship with the veterans that we help. Sometimes I get to, or I should say, I have to know them on a little bit more of a personal level. Mo, it hits different. Like I said, I've had this relationship with Mo for the longest time. So yeah, this is a very personal one. So yeah, I'm extremely excited. Extremely excited.
Yeah. It's always good to take care of our big brothers, right?
Yeah.
But this one will be one we're going to kind of enter into this recipient dinner with a little bit more technology this time. So to actually kind of open up these big moments that will bring you to tears. It brought me to tears the first time I went, but to kind of let the rest of the world see what we do and who we're helping, and most importantly what their story is. So we'll have some cameras, we'll do some recording. I think Nick and I talked about possibly live stream, but that's still up for debate. But yeah, we're gonna for those of you who are not close and can't directly participate in this event, hopefully we can bring it to you. So if you're out there in the world and you're spreading our message, we'll try to give something back.
We'll definitely figure it out. We have plenty of time to figure out how to live stream, especially live stream the speech portion of the dinner. We'll figure it out. I mean, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
If Elon Musk can launch a car into space, we can live stream a dinner.
There's so many jokes we can make right now. And AI. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. We'll have probably a moment to breathe right after the poker run, and then bam, it's finished up any last events that we might have and getting ready for the recipient dinner, which is always cool. It's a great time, and I hope if anybody's in the area, they can come out. But we're gonna still keep pushing. So if you want to,
the coolest part too is, I don't mean to interrupt, but I mean another cool part too about the poker run and the dinner is we have our Rhode Island family coming down to help. I mean, this is Saturday is going to be the first time that both Connecticut and Rhode Island is going to be together as a whole organization. So this is going to be extremely epic that we're together as an entire organization working together for this huge cause that that we're all out to accomplish. Rhode Island's absolutely killing it, in that state. Those guys are, man, somebody lit a fire under their butts. I love it.
Yeah, you turn around next thing you know, you're seeing them on cable news.
I know.
For good thing.
Yep. It's awesome though. They're out there, taking names and kicking butts, but I mean it's fantastic, and they're well on their way to pretty much getting a recipient for 2024 and being able to help a combat wounded vet in that state. So
yeah, really hit that what we talk about, right? Hit that quality aspect.
Yep.
So to make an actual really good, meaningful impact, they're going to start off with their first recipient, and they're going to do it right.
Yeah.
They're determined to do so, and I have 100% faith that they will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we got, like I said, the poker run coming up this Saturday. It's going to be a blast, big party for everybody, and then take a small break, maybe finish out some events, do some more podcasts, get in the recipient dinner, and then the yearly cycle is done and we start all over again.
Yeah. Rinse and repeat. That's it.
Yeah. Just keep going, keep pushing, keep being consistent.
Yep. That's what I love about this organization. It's never ending.
Mm-hmm. And then as far as the show goes, I mean, we're moving into, starting to be able to do this thing remote a lot easier like we're doing right now. So we keep in time with stuff. A lot of people have been contacting us, wanting to be guests on the show, which is wonderful. I got a list that came in order, and we're going to start pounding through them and bring on some awesome people, whether it be authors, people from other shows, people from local businesses, that are veterans and stuff. So there's a list, and more is merrier.
Yeah. And I just want to just throw a quick apology out there for everyone that's contacted us about being on the show and stuff. We're not ignoring you. We're not dragging our feet or anything like that. Just want to put it out there that, we are working on the schedules. Obviously with, our mission, the taking care of the Purple Heart recipient first and foremost is our mission. So when it comes to, operations for the organization, that is going to be our first and foremost concern. And then on top of that, we have our personal lives that we are managing on top of that. This is also another reason why we're hitting this episode remotely, with our personal lives and trying to juggle so many schedules. Sometimes it's a little bit tough for us to meet at the studio and get the episode recorded. Summertime is usually our busiest season, and as we said in the beginning of this episode, this has been one of our busiest seasons yet. And like the look on Seth's face, like I mean, and then even still, like I met someone Wednesday when we were at the Speed Bowl. There's someone looking to join the organization as a new member, and this person pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, I want to join the organization. I have a lot of new ideas or a lot of stuff I want to bring to the table." And I'm riding home from that event Wednesday night going, how many more new ideas can we put on this table? Like, don't get me wrong. I love new ideas. I love the ideas, right? And that's the thing. But again, we want as many guests as we can on the show. We're not ignoring you. We're not ignoring your messages. We're first and foremost, our main concern is these Purple Heart recipients, raising the money, getting the funds, getting them taken care of, and getting everything squared away for this poker run that's on Saturday. This event takes us an entire year to plan and execute. It's all hands on deck. Once that's over, once we get everything squared away for the dinner, then everything kind of starts to mellow out for us. Then we can go ahead and start putting more time, stuff like that, into episodes and stuff like that. We got you. Okay. We got you. And also too, we're still figuring out all this remote stuff. So we're going to be bringing in more people remotely for episodes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
So we're getting it. We're like Seth said, we want quality rather than quantity, right? So is that what you say, Seth? Did I get that right?
Quality instead of quantity.
There you go. See, I'm learning from you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
See, I'm learning.
Oh my gosh. And this week though, we get to go see a friend off.
Oh yeah, our boy.
Super extraordinary. So the individual's name,
he's going in a dinghy.
Oh, it's not a dinghy.
Rowboat.
Hold on one second.
A canoe. An inflatable. He's got a little inflatable duck thing.
It's an inflatable banana.
Oh, okay.
No. So we're gonna go up to take a ride up to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, here pretty soon, and go see off a good friend of ours, Chris Flying, right?
Yeah. You guys might have remember him from one of the episodes previously.
Yeah, on the Ruck Up episode where we talked about him in the interview, and a fellow Stay Proud, Stay Grateful guy. He will be joining a crew of, I think, 9 individuals in a sailboat race around the world. So to put this in perspective of this grand feat that they are doing, right? This race is done entirely in like classic mode. All right. There is no GPS or anything like that. It's all sextant and stars. All right. All under sail, no motor. All right. They got to sail across the Atlantic and then around the world. They're doing this with a boat that I think is 10 feet shorter than the average boat. And crews that normally consist of 20 people, I think is what he said. He's got 9. And for our friend Chris, he has a small disadvantage, is that Chris had lost his legs. I can't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. Sorry, Chris, if I'm forgetting. So we have a gentleman who's going to go out and conquer the oceans and do it in the most extraordinary way possible.
Okay, so I know we're a family show, but all I'm going to say is, like, is the boat going to be weighed down from his brass cojones?
Yeah, apparently. That's what I said.
Like,
I was like, man.
Chris, I give you all the credit in the world, homeboy. I love you, but man, you
sent me pictures. You sent me pictures today of him getting acquainted with the boat, and all I sent back was, "Welcome to the Navy. It sucks here."
How can we not send? Not to mention, text messages like this boy never sends me any pictures.
You guys send him cool swag like I do. one of the coolest things about this is that they are the only U.S. team participating in this race. So we're going to see them off on their maiden voyage. He's going to actually take the boat across the Atlantic and then fly back and swap out with another crew member. But it's it's astounding, and I can't wait for him to go on this exciting adventure. And welcome to the ocean.
Jeez, that's awesome.
So I think the crew that's with him is actually another charity called I think it's Skeleton Racing or Veteran Outdoor Adventures or something like that. But there's a few organizations that are like us that try to provide some type of service to veterans to be able to kind of better and more enrich their lives. So they're sponsoring him. He works for HAVA, which we had dealt with before with the Honoring American Veterans of Field. They do great work there. And then he's getting sponsored by Sig Sauer as well. So he's got some big names behind him too. So it's going to be cool. We're going to go up there, do some interviews with some awesome people. This ragtag group of veterans in this sailboat race that just sounds like it's going to be next year's Disney original movie. So it'll be fun.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to join you guys. Some of us do have to work,
Yeah. Now, all right, Doug, you do important work. All right. I just manufacture things. You teach the next generation how to be adults. I really need you to focus on that. In fact, you really need to pick it up.
Well, hold on a second.
I'm not happy with what I'm seeing coming out of service lately.
hold
I'm questioning your ability.
Hold on a second.
Someone pull that man's friggin' credentials.
Let's back up a second. This guy is teaching people how to be adults. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, your tax dollars at work.
Actually, no, I'm pretty good at what I do. I think.
I like to think so. You help me sometimes.
No, unfortunately, like I would love to go up there, but I mean, it's just timing just kind of really just sucks. With me going away next week and eating up all my time and whatnot for that trip. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go, but this is why you and Nick are put in the position that you're in. So you guys can go ahead and handle this kind of stuff and go do what you do.
Well, I can handle this kind of stuff. Nick went through your class, and I don't trust that he can.
This is why he's also gone through like 6 of my classes, because this is why when I trained his entire boat.
Nick back to the beginning of the class.
No. What happened is I told Nick like I was training his entire boat, and I made him my assistant, so he had to go through the training repetitively, so he would at least learn it.
Okay.
On camera.
Okay. Oh, rare producer. Oh my God.
Look at that party little face.
Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend and president of the Connecticut chapter, Nick Ransom.
So how are you going to call me out when I'm not even allowed to back myself up?
What are you talking about, pumpkin? What are you talking about, pumpkin? What are you talking about, cupcake?
Cue the internal screeching.
What do you mean internal screeching? What is that about?
Your class.
Internal screeching.
What about
That's
my
how you
class?
feel
My class
inside.
is good. My class is gold, son.
That's all I learned was just scream on the inside, not the outside.
What I used to do on the boat is I grab a cup and I
Did
put
you
it over
not?
my mouth and scream.
You learned something, did you not?
You did not.
I learned don't volunteer anymore.
Exactly. You learned something vital.
Man,
Never again volunteer yourself. Navy.
That's what Navy stands for.
Exactly. Damn.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for today. But like Doug and I said, we got some amazing stuff behind us and amazing stuff ahead of us, and we're going to finish out, which, from what I understand, is quite a remarkable year for us. Yeah. Period. So I'm happy to be part of it. And this be my first experience. Hopefully it doesn't go downhill from here.
No, the one thing that I'm excited for you, Seth, is the fact that you got to see last year, you got to see the end result, right? You got to see basically what we work for. Now, this year, you get to see all behind the scenes, You get to see everything that is involved with. You get to see everything leading up to the dinner, and now you get the real gut punch in the stomach, the full on experience of the poker run, the dinner, the fundraising, the blood, sweat, and the tears, the frustration, the stress, anxiety behind it all, and then at the dinner, you finally get the satisfaction of going, it was all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. When you say that, it's, I came out and I got to see, the grand finale of what you all did throughout the year. And that was just like, well, I want to do that too. And so coming into this whole next year, it's like, I want to make someone's life better and happy again, myself. So
yeah. There's a lot of people that ask, like they'll ask me how long have I been doing this, and I'll tell them I've been doing this for 7 years, and they're like, "Damn, that's a long time." Like it is. It is a long time to be dedicated to something and just keep going with it. And they're like, "How is it that you've been doing this for so long?" And this is how. It's because at the end of every year I get to do the dinner. And at the end of every year, I get that feeling of it was all worth it. And every 364 days, it's nothing but stress, anxiety, frustration. There is anger mixed in. There's a whole bunch of days. There's days where I just want to quit. I want to throw in the towel.
The anger sometimes comes in the manner of the salt shaker that you pour and the cap comes off.
And there's some days I just want to throw in the towel and just be like, I'm done with this. Like I want to walk away and go back to just not dealing with any of it. But then I just remember the dinner and it's all worth it. And then I go back to it. And now you're going to be able to walk away going, yeah, it was all worth it. All those days I wanted to rip out my beard hair one hair at a time with a pair of tweezers. It's all worth it. But as Nick said in our little private chat, if anybody wants to get involved, please come out and talk to us. Send us a message, talk to us about our goals and talk to us about our ambitions. Let us know if you have any ideas. If you want to get involved as a volunteer, you want to actually become an official guardian, being called a guardian, being known as a guardian is something that, we hold very near and dear to our hearts. And it's something that we don't take lightly. I myself, I don't care if anyone finds this cheesy or corny, but I consider it an honor when I call myself a guardian. And I consider it an honor when I can turn around and say Seth is a guardian and Nick is a guardian and everyone else in this organization is considered a guardian. And I consider it an honor when I bring somebody else in and say, welcome, you are now considered a guardian, because it is an honor to have that title in this organization. So if you want to become a guardian, message us and join the ranks and get involved. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
It's a nice secondary family.
It is. It really is. It's messed up on some level, but we do have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do. So, well, all right, folks. We'll end it there for the day. Another episode in the bag with many more to come for sure.
A lot more.
As well, and continue to check out all of our social media where we're dropping, our sponsors, and some of the awesome things they do.
And we got some fresh threads.
Say that again.
We got some fresh threads.
Some fresh threads. Oh yeah, we just joined the threads.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the Twitter killer. I'm sorry, you ain't killing Elon Musk. He's too smart.
I like Elon.
It's like artificial intelligence is not artificial. It's just Elon duplicating himself over and over again.
But is it intelligent?
I don't know. We're not going to get into this argument about whether it's actually intelligent or not.
I just want to watch your head explode.
Oh my God, just stop, Doug. Look, all right. So anyways, check out our social media. Check out all of the fun stuff that we're posting, the videos that we're sharing, the things that we're doing. And if you haven't, like I said earlier in the show, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share these videos with your friends. The more viewers we get, the more subscribers we get, the closer do we get to hitting our monetization goal, where all of that money then goes back into the Guardians. Like I said, we don't take a a single cent from it. But it'll make it so that way everybody out there that's watching is participating in changing somebody's life. So share them as much as you possible. Every watch time counts, every click counts, every subscriber counts. We greatly appreciate it. Other than that, we'll leave you off with the normal thing of stay proud, stay grateful. We'll see you next time.